We hear a lot about the term CDC Plus in the waiver community. Can you explain a little more about what that is?
Yes, I sure can. So CDC Plus is actually my favorite part of the waiver. Just want to add that. And for those of you who are watching this and are on it and are rolling your eyes at me, I'm saying it's my favorite part, but not because it's easy to navigate, but it gives flexibility. So CDC stands for Consumer Directed Care. And in APD lingo, consumer is the client. So basically what it does is it takes your annual budget and it breaks it into 12 months. And the family gets to be in charge and be the gatekeeper. So the family would hire their own employees. They go in, they do the billing, they do the background screening. And the theory behind CDC Plus, it was a pilot program here for, I think, for 10 or 15 years. And it was only in Miami and Jacksonville were the only two regions who hosted it when it was a pilot. So in exchange for the flexibility of being able to hire your own employees and be in charge of your child's funding, the exchange is that they take 8% of your annual waiver budget, and then they take another 4%. So it's a total of 12%. You're operating at a 12% loss, basically. But the theory behind it is that the families can do a better job and manage their funds better than having to use agencies and paying that overhead. And I've never seen it not work for a family. Every family I've ever worked with who's been on CDC Plus has really greatly benefited from it. So with waiver, you have to use specific providers, like an agency. When you go on CDC Plus, you don't have to do that. And not only do you not have to do that, it allows you to pay for things like a lot of kids are on special diets and supplements that are not deemed technically medical necessity and would not be covered by their Medicaid or waiver. So you can actually get those things paid for through CDC Plus. You can pay for summer camps. I mean, it's an amazing program. But that being said, it is a lot more work for the parent who is managing it. So typically what happens is one parent, if you're in a 2-parent household, one parent becomes the representative and they do the paperwork. Mm-hmm. So a lot falls on the person who is the representative, which is why a lot of parents don't use that program, even though it could really benefit them. It scares a lot of parents off. And then the application and enrollment packet are like that thick.
Yeah.
And they used to mail them out. You used to have to call the CDC Plus hotline and they would mail it. And then I would get calls like parents crying. Oh. I can't do this. It came in a binder like this. Oh, it was massive. And so then they were supposed to sort it was they don't mail it out now, which is good because it's not quite as overwhelming. But then again, not mailing it out, you have to go on the website and kind of find everything yourself.
And then I had a question too, as the employees that you can hire, what are the restrictions? You know, you've heard parents can get paid to be caregivers.
Yes. So in most of the situations that the families that I work with, one of the parents does end up being a paid caregiver. So you still have to, even though you're the parent, you have to go in, you have to go do an FDLE level 2 background screening through the clearinghouse system. Mm-hmm. So everyone has to be screened. Usually it's a parent, and then so that parent gets paid a small portion of it. And what ends up happening, that comes in, it's household income. So it's just a paycheck to the parent. And then they end up turning around and spending it on all the things their kids need. Right. So that's the way I see it working the best. But you also have to have employee binders for everyone. Time sheets have to be kept. I mean, it's a business basically. So usually, most of the time, one parent is on the plan as paid caregiver, and then they usually have another caregiver or two. But yeah, all of the screenings, you have to keep everything current. Every 5 years, they have to be rescreened.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the.
An age, minimum, like if there was, could you hire, say, a sibling who was interested?
Yes, you can. They have to be over 16. I'm pretty sure they can't be under the age of 16.
Makes sense. Okay.
And then there's also a live-in status. So it's supposed to be income tax exempt, not just if it's the parent or a sibling,
Mhm.
but there are some people who live independently in their own homes and they may have live-in staff and be on CDC Plus.
Mm.
So that allows that live-in caregiver to be income tax exempt as well. So not just family, but any live-in caregiver.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Very interesting. Thank you.